And so after, it's called ABCD. It was inspired by a short film by Roxley that you maybe saw during the first screening. It's called ABCD, but there are 3 screenings, and this one is the third. It's called C. And after first screening, that was more about the globalization, the oppressive political systems. A second one that were more about individual decisions, choices that had to be done. Now I think it's a third screening more about between fiction and documentary, between mythology and folklore. But you had the concept of this screening.
So thank you to Olivier and Philippe, and I also mean it. So it's been a real pleasure to be here. The audiences have been really great, and of course you guys have been wonderful hosts. So I think most of you have been to the earlier programs, so you have a sense of the work that we've been doing in the Asian context, looking at different styles, different diverse styles of work that comes out from there, trying to kind of look into a historical context and create a dialogue between the historical and the contemporary work. This program, C, essentially is work that looks at constructing and representing both mythology and folklore, but in a kind of more playful way that pushes the boundaries between fiction and documentary. The first piece is from the Philippines. It's called The Retrochronological Transfer of Information, made by Tad Emitano. It was made in 1994. It's kind of like, it's quite a funny satirical kind of science fiction piece. That's followed by Genre Subgenre by Joseph Nguyen from Indonesia, made in 2013. This is an abstract kind of piece on looking at the different landscapes and the context and kind of recontextualizing landscape. Then is Lembu Sara, made by Regas Bhanuteja. I won't say much about this film. It also has humor, but it also has a kind of dark edge to it. That's followed by Anito, made by Martha Atienza in the Philippines in 2012. This looks at a kind of animistic festival that was that kind of takes it starts with looking at it in its traditional context, but then kind of goes into a kind of more modernistic representation of a particular ritual, and the program concludes with The Last Mango Before the Monsoon, made by Payal Kapadia from India in 2015. Payal Kapadia is a recent graduate of the Film and Television Institute of India, and this film is quite ambient, and she also works with animation and has a background in painting as well. So yeah, so that's the program. Enjoy, and I'm around if you want to chat. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Shai, and thanks to you.